used to just have my objective, and I would text code it with the students, and we would talk about it. The board is new for me this year, but it really has helped me. It really, more so than I think the kindergartners, it helps me be mindful of the things that I wanted to touch about, like the learner profile traits. Like, you know, when they're being writers, you know, they're communicating and being risk takers, and it's a visual for me. And so touching it, you know, does help me remember. So you're going to do this, and this is how you're going to get there. So that really has helped me, I feel, demonstrate or model for them, you know, my understanding and their understanding, like to show them. So it's been a good visual. It's still a journey though. I feel like it still will be better. I'll be better next year. Think. I wonder, what is nonfiction? If fiction is not true, I wonder what nonfiction is. Think. Turn to whisper to your shoulder partner. Welcome back. Boys and girls, if you don't have a partner, do you just sit there and be satisfied with that, or do you search one out?
Search one out.
Search for one. Yep. So you need to be a role model or take charge, be an active learner. Think, what is nonfiction? Keaton. Oh, here you go. If fiction is not true, I wonder what nonfiction is.
True.
True. Nonfiction, it teaches us something. It has real people and pictures. It has things that can really happen, and it answers questions. We have had a lot of our inquiry questions answered by reading nonfiction, haven't we? We've been inquiring about feelings and laws and rules, and it has really answered a lot of our questions. When we read laws for kids, that answered some of our questions, didn't it? What kinds of laws? What are laws? Why do we have them? It answered our questions. That's what nonfiction does. It answers our questions. It has real people and pictures, and it teaches us something. I have another piece of nonfiction for you today. It's a Chenevey freebie. It's called, let me get my seat ready. It's called Senses. Boys and girls, when we notice how others are feeling, what sense do we use?
See.
Our sight. We use our sense of sight. So our senses can really play an important role in understanding other people's feelings. Listen to this book. It's called Senses. This is a piece of nonfiction. I wonder, I love titles. We've learned that titles can kind of tell us, be a key to what our story is about. Think, this is called Senses. I wonder what this story is going to be about. Senses. And because it's nonfiction, it's going to be true. Senses. Sorry. I like to learn about things. How do I learn about things? I use my 5 senses. I love how Michael, he's thinking. You don't know this, but he's ticking off his fingers. He's thinking sight, hearing, smell. He's thinking about him, I could tell. I use my eyes to see. I see birds and bees. I use my ears to hear. I hear birds singing. I hear bees buzzing. I use my nose to smell. I smell pretty flowers. Boys and girls, ooh, I've noticed that the author is talking about senses, but each time he changes gears and tells us about a different sense. Remember when we were talking about noticing how the author changes gears? Here, they're talking about the sense of sight. Here, the author's talking about the sense of hearing. I use my nose to smell. I smell pretty flowers. Now the author has switched, still talking about senses, but talking about the sense of smell. I use my fingers to touch. Oh, I love how Ryder's eyes are up here. He's being exceptionally principled. He's being in charge of his learning. I touch the fuzzy caterpillar. I use my tongue to taste. For their book basket. So if you choose to do read to self, you can be a word finder. You can be a thinker and use what you know. Find those kindergarten words that you already know and highlight them. This is a book that might be hard for some friends, but if they start finding words they know, they'll realize, hey, I can read that. Oh, I love how Hayden has turned her body this way. Boys and girls, let's see, who were
Lee and Tristan.
Well, it was Lee and Weston, but Tristan's going to be the helper tomorrow. Grandma oops a little. Okay, Tristan?
No, Tristan.
Yep, I know, but it got mixed up at lunchtime. They're going to hand you a book. Okay? Don't get up. Stay where you are. Hold on to it. You can look at it quietly, but make sure you're listening to the choices. All right, and I need to read with my next group. And my next group is,
My group.
it's called Ryder.
My group.
Ryder, Samara. Wait, yeah, Ryder, Samara, Zeke, Aaron, Michael, and Landon. All right, if you would like to be a communicator and a risk taker and do work on writing, stand up. And you haven't done it yet, work on writing. Keaton, you can work on writing. Oh, Keaton, you already did it, bud. Who hasn't done work on writing? All right. If you would like to do read with someone. Oh, sorry, Aaliyah, didn't see you. Go ahead, Aaliyah, work on writing. If you'd like to read with someone, stand up. Reading with a partner. Oh, Belle, wait 1 second.